you, yeah. They ask me crazy for you, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Maga, come on in, man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. How many times we gonna win? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Everybody at home right now. You're my baby boy. You're my pride and joy. People ask me how I feel about you. They ask me, do I love you? Yeah. They ask me, crazy for you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Maga in the building. Man, come on, man. How you feel about Trump? You're my pride and joy. You're my baby boy. People ask me, am I down with you? They say, is you vote for Trump? Yeah. Are you gonna stump? Yeah, yeah, yeah. What? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. One more time. They said, did you vote for Trump? Yeah. Hell yeah, gonna stump. Yeah, yeah, yeah. What? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Kissing you is so good. You're my pride and joy. You're my baby boy. People ask me how I feel about you. They ask me, do I love you? Yeah. Am I crazy for MAGA? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All my MAGA in the building. Did you vote for Trump? Yeah. Are you going to stump for Trump? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Did you vote for Trump? Yeah. Are you going to stump for Trump? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Everybody, yeah, yeah. Kamala Harris could do it. Kamala Harris got Beyonce. Kamala Harris got Gorilla. Kamala Harris got every black woman in the county shaking her ass on stage right now for Trump, for Donald Trump, MAGA Thursday. We keep winning every day. That's all we do is win. I want to hear it right now. Did you vote for Trump? Because I be on different panels. They were, what's your name? How old you are? Who did you vote for? Did you vote for Trump? As soon as you say, did you vote for Trump, they come with all the hullabaloo. So right now, I'm going to just sing it because I'm so happy that I voted for Trump. I'm happy with the Trump administration. Did you see the address? We're going to get into all of it. So when they ask you on the TikTok panel, on the Rick Rock Rattle, wherever they ask you, they say, did you vote for Trump? Say, yeah. Did you stump for Trump? Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. When they ask you, when you join the panel, and they say, tell me your age and your state, and they say, did you vote for Trump? Don't just say yes, sing it. Sing it to them. Say yeah, yeah, yeah. My name is John. I'm from Missouri, and I voted for Donald Trump. Did you vote for Trump? Yeah. Are you going to stump for Trump? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Did you vote for Trump? Yeah. Are you going to stump for Trump? Yeah, yeah, yeah. What? Yeah, yeah, yeah. What? Yeah. You know what I've been saying all week? You know what I was on the TikTok panel. Look at everybody coming in the chat. Mrs. Perfect Timing first in the chat. Get shouted out without a doubt. Double tap at the like button. You are watching the #1 podcast for geopolitical debate. What have I been saying all week? I said, you are not reading this right. You are not reading the writing on the wall. I said, I play Fannie Willis. Crash out, crash out, crash out, crash out. Fannie Willis said, I'm not going to quit. Quit like who, Fannie? Fannie Willis said, I'm not going to quit like MTG. She said, MTG quit. Jasmine Crockett can't run in the 33rd district. I say Democrats are falling like flies. How can you gain back the House if you don't even have candidates to run? You know what I'm saying? You have to continue. Right now, how many people watch my channel? If you watch my channel, if you subscribe to the black guy with the tight eyes, then you know the congressional math. I say it all the time. Congressional math. Congressional math. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The congressional math is the House is 219 Republicans the 213 Democrats. Do you know what would have to happen in 26? The Democrats would have to gain 10 or 20 seats to take the majority in the House, or the Republicans would have to lose 10 or 20 seats. The problem with that mathematically is you don't have any candidates trying to take seats from Republicans. Who is running in 2026 that would give you the congressional math and give you a majority? There is nothing. You have Jasmine Crockett no longer in the House and Congress when we also have a majority in the Senate. Jasmine Crockett going to the Senate does not give you a majority in the Senate. What are you doing, Democrats? What are you doing, Democrats? Did you vote for Trump? Yeah. Are you going to stump for Trump? Yeah. Can you come on my panel? Can you tell me who you voted for? Can you tell me who you... I am proud of Trump. I am proud of what he's done. I am ecstatic. 1776. Everybody in the chat right now, can I get a 1776? 1776. That's a military Christmas bonus because Jasmine Crockett and Chuck Schumer, because Jasmine Crockett was losing her job. Chuck Schumer is losing his job. So they shut down the government and starved our military. So to pay back the military, Trump is giving them 1776. Did you vote for Trump? Yeah. Are you going to stump for Trump? Yeah. Everybody in the chat with me right now. Yeah. Man, I'm having a good time, man. We just getting started. Double tap at the like button, man. Double tap, hit the like button, man. Double tap, hit the like button, man. Come on in. We're going to have a good time this morning, man. You at the #1 spot, man. Perfect Time Podcast, #1 spot for geopolitics. You see the thumbnail. You see how we going down. I hope you read the description. Put a lot of work and time into the description, thumbnail tags. A lot of time into my appearance. You know what I'm saying? Check me out, man. The black guy with the tight eye coming in with the political views. Thursday, another Maga Thursday. Trump dropping nukes, 4 nuke bombs, 4 win. That's all we do. Like, how much winning is available to win? Whatever winning is out there, that's what we're going to do. We picking up all the chips. Maga's picking up all the chips. But I'm laying a foundation for today's podcast. Why is he so excited? Why is this important? Why is he always fired up? Why has he always got so much energy? Why is MAGA? What you should be asking yourself is, why aren't the Democrats able to match my energy? And that is why I say writing on the wall. The Democrats have nobody who can match my energy. Every day I come out with facts. Oh man, baby, I didn't even do my hair. Why you didn't say my hair? Every day we come out with facts. Every day we educate people. Every day we are excited because Trump has victories. Trump is doing things, doing everything he promised. Trump is in Minnesota. Trump is in Illinois. Trump is in Memphis. Trump is in Charlotte. How many people voted for Trump are ecstatic at what you were getting? I mean, think about it, man. Well, I didn't know how many. You look good. Thank you, baby. So we voted for Trump, and we knew we wanted the crackdown, right? But every day, this is why I'm so excited. Facts on facts. This is why I'm so excited, because every day I have brand new information about what I voted for. How many people knew it would roll out like this? It's only been 12 months. You just made this decision. You just had a different administration. But how many people knew that we would go from Washington, D.C.? Remember when we first started here? Everybody sitting here. Remember when we first started here and we said, where's next? He did such a good job in D.C. Where is he going to go next? This is what we voted for. And then he went to all these places. He went to Portland. He went to Chicago. He went to Los Angeles. Then I heard about Trump in Memphis. Then I heard about the crimes and the statistics in Memphis. How many people knew that Memphis was also plagued with the immigration problems? But then I hear about black citizens in Memphis thanking Trump, making TikTok videos saying, hey, Trump cleaned up Memphis. We had a problem in Memphis. I didn't even know Trump was going to Memphis. Aren't you happy? That's why I start off today so excited. We voted for Trump. We're getting even more than what we asked for. I knew Trump would go to Chicago. We all knew Trump would go to Chicago. We knew Trump would go to LA, right? We all knew Trump would go to Chicago. We knew Trump would go to LA. We did not know that Trump would go to Memphis and do such a good job. We didn't know about the Chattahoochee Crunch in Louisiana, Charlotte's Web. And then, did you know in Charlotte, I didn't know that Charlotte had such a problem. In Charlotte, 5,000 arrests in 7 days. Charlotte's Web, we have multiple operations. We have an operation now. Now think about what I'm saying. We started in Washington, D.C. This is what we all voted for. We're happy with Trump. Trump is making D.C. safe. D.C. is a safe zone. Black people in D.C. are making videos. Hey, I'm a black professional. This is the first time I've been able to drive with my window down in 10 years. Thank you, President Trump, for making D.C. safe. So when under Biden, you know what you had in D.C.? A huge Black Lives Matter painted on the street. Day one, Trump took up the Black Lives Matter off the street, instead focused on the citizens, the actual black citizens. He didn't paint the streets. That didn't make black citizens, chocolate city. Washington, D.C. is chocolate city, right? Washington, D.C. is chocolate city. And so the Black Lives Matter painted on the streets of Washington, D.C. didn't stop the crime. Did you guys hear about, I told you that the chief of police, this is the writing on the wall for the Democrats. I'm going to get to a video in a second that's going to show how the Democrat rating is below 18%. The Democrats are polling lower, but I told you that 6 months ago. But Black Lives Matter painted on the street. The female black liberal Democratic police chief of Washington, D.C. just quit. Do you guys know she quit? She quit. Trump makes it a safe zone and she quit because painting Black Lives Matter on the street doesn't do shit. Can I get some respect out here? I said painting Black Lives Matter. I'm talking to Kamala. I'm talking to Biden. I'm talking to the liberal Karen Democrats who said Black Lives Matter, and they painted Black Lives Matter on the street, put up all these yellow cones blocking the street, but they didn't do anything to stop crime in D.C., right? You had a police chief lying about numbers. You have a mayor, both black females in D.C. that did not do. The mayor had been mayor for over 11 years. The mayor in D.C. had been mayor for over 11 years. They elected her 3 times, even though she was incompetent and unsuccessful at solving the problems for D.C. and D.C. crime. I remember doing a story when the chief of police, before this black woman, it was a black man. He begged for help. He begged for help. So D.C. has been plagued. Trump comes to office. Big Balls gets carjacked. Trump cleans up D.C. in 7 days. You had a black female mayor for 11 years. She got nothing done. That's why I'm excited today. I'm excited. You should be excited because the American people are waking up. Why do you think the chief of police in D.C. is quitting? Why is MTG quitting? Why is AOC going to primary Chuck Schumer? Why is Jasmine Crockett running for Senate and not 33rd Congress? Why are all these changes? Why do you see the Democrat Party crumbling right in front of you, right? The D.C. mayor, that black woman, the black chief of police should have been running for mayor. The D.C. mayor should have been running for congresswoman or senator, but she can't elevate because she has nothing to run on. You don't have anything in the Democratic Party. You can't push Mayor Bowser. Mayor Bowser is a hack job. Mayor Bowser in D.C.'s political career is over. She might as well quit, just like the D.C. chief of police might as well quit. This is the truth and reality of the Democratic Party. If the Democrats were so strong, you think you're strong, why would the Democratic black female chief of police of D.C. not try to run for office? Because the Democrats are so strong in 2026, right? You have a black female who was the chief of police. Trump attacked her. She has an opportunity to run for office. How about Mayor Bowser, the D.C. mayor who's been mayor for 11 years? Was she going to be mayor for whole life? You going to be like Nancy Pelosi? You going to try to be like a mayor for 50 years? What about Mayor Bowser? What happens to Mayor Bowser, right? Did she try to elevate in this political climate where she's been elevated to the national stage because her city was put on the national stage because of the horrible job she did, right? Did she turn this into an opportunity? Does Mayor Bowser turn this national notoriety, even if it's negative, into an opportunity for the Democrats? No, she doesn't. No, she doesn't. No, this is the reality. So we vote for Trump. Trump cleans up DC in 7 days. Mayor Bowser and the black female chief of police had 10 years. They didn't do it. Trump did it in 7 days. Then we say Trump is going to go to Portland. Trump is going to go to Los Angeles. Then we see Trump in Memphis. Then we see Trump in New Orleans. We like, damn, Trump in New Orleans. They come back and say Chattahoochee Crunch got 10,000 deportees in 1 week. We see Charlotte's Web and they arrest 5,000 people in Charlotte, North Carolina in 1 week. Then it's every day I'm giving you this news. Every day, shout out to Let's Go Maga. Let's Go Maga. So think about this. Think about this. I am painting a picture for you. Every day I'm giving you news. So ICE raids with masks on. So the Democrat liberals try to take ICE to the Supreme Court. Does everybody know? I told my fans, I told my audience, what happened when they tried to take ICE to the Supreme Court? What do you see right now? As I show video in Minneapolis, don't you notice ICE still has their face covered? Do you know why? They won the Supreme Court. So every day I'm giving you victories, every day. So we go from city to city. We go from Supreme Court justice decision to Supreme Court. We win on ICE. We win on ICE raids. We continue to go from city to city. Remember when we first started, they said Trump cannot do this. Trump can't go from state to state. Has Trump, yes or no, gone from state to state? I just listed to you all the cities across the entire country. Memphis, Illinois, North Carolina, Charlotte, New Orleans. Who knew he would go to New Orleans? But you know, I'm leaving out the last city on purpose. I'm leaving out one city on purpose. I just want to build a foundation. We've gone to all these places, 250,000 people arrested. But then where are we now? Think about my job, how great it is to be me. Every day I have more victories to share with you. Oh, we just arrested 5,000 here. We just arrested 5,000 here. Another Thank you for the super chats, man. Shout out to everybody watching. Like, share, subscribe, join the channel, become a member, and hit the super chat. We got a goal of 15 super chats and 5 members. I need 5 of the people who subscribe today. Hit the plus sign, join the channel. Membership has its privileges, exclusive lives, exclusive icons, exclusive emojis. And then we need 15 super chats. We only need 13 more. I love you all. I'm going to ask a big favor right now. Everybody watching, double tap, hit the like button. Double tap, hit the like button. So we started in Washington, D.C. Can somebody make a list? Huh? Why would anybody think that the federal government could not come in and clean up your place? They don't understand the chain of command. Do you remember the black female chief of police? She quit, right? Washington, D.C. D.C. is where we started. So the press asked her, okay, now that the feds are here, what is the chain of command? And she said, I don't know, ask the mayor. I don't know, sister girl. She went straight. You are the chief of police. Just like Fannie Willis, yesterday's testimony, no decorum, no ethics, no character. When asked what is the proper chain of command, just like Leon just put in my chat, what is the proper chain of command? She couldn't, and she refused to answer, and she deflected to the mayor. And the mayor didn't know. I don't know. Ask Trump. Yes, you do. Leon, if Leon knows, if Bruce Wayne the Gray knows, if I know, then damn it, the chief of police and the damn mayor are supposed to know the chain of command. If they don't know the chain of command, then what? Then there is no command. There's no order. There is no order, right? And that is evident by the way they were running Washington, D.C. And now we know the D.C. chief of police was lying on her numbers. So she quit so she could avoid prosecution and maintain her retirement. It's disgusting. It's disgusting how the Democrats treat you. So I gave a story where the chief of police told her captains to charge criminals. Let's say a criminal said assault with a deadly weapon. That would trigger stats to say the city is more dangerous. She told her officers to change that charge to a lesser charge that would not show up on her reports, fudging the numbers, making people think DC is safer than it actually is, making it more dangerous for the citizens who happen to be disproportionately black. Can you believe it? I can't make this up. I can't make this up. She did. When you hear about people on trains who have been released after being arrested 30 times, it's because of black, female, liberal mayors, judges, and chief of police who care more about their hair, their ass, than the safety of the people and the validity of their fucking job. Do you understand what I'm saying? She made officers lie. I played to you video from the black female mayor in Minneapolis, and I'm purposely not getting to Minneapolis. I'm purposely not getting to me. I need you to follow. I need you to understand how great Trump is. I am purposely leaving out Minneapolis in the billion-dollar fraud because people don't understand what has occurred in 2025. It started in DC. Then we went to Portland. Then we went to LA. Then we went to Chicago. Then they went to the Supreme Court and whined and cried. Boo-hoo-hoo. Boo. Trump news, Trump news, Trump news, giving Democrats the boo-hoo-hoo blues. Then we went to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court said they can wear masks. And then someone tried to kill an ICE agent in Dallas, and everybody thought that would stop Trump. That would stop the ICE agents. That would scare Trump. That would scare the ICE agents. Guess what happened? We did Chattahoochee Crunch in New Orleans. 10,000 arrested in 1 week. We went to North Carolina. 5,000 in 1 week. We keep going state to state, city to city. And then most recently, can we get to it, ladies and gentlemen? Drum roll, please. Drum roll, please. Can we get to it, ladies and gentlemen? After we went from city to city, Memphis, we didn't even know we was going to go to Memphis. We didn't even know Memphis needed help. Trump helped in Memphis. I didn't know there was an issue in Charlotte, North Carolina. Trump did it. Trump did it. Trump did it. But then we end up in Minneapolis in a Somalian migrant neighborhood. And then we learned that these Somalians stole billions of dollars from American children during COVID. So everybody, the first day, because they sell you the story that the orange man is racist, right? So the first day, it was Africans and blacks versus the orange man, right? The orange man is racist. He's going to Minneapolis to go get black people. The first day, the news completely left out the fact that they stole $1 billion. You know what I'm going to report today? Do you know what I'm going to tell you today? The other day I said, this is what pisses me off, right? I said, I gave money to UNICEF as a child, right? We seen commercials our whole fucking life of starving Africans with fucking flies on their eyeballs, right? They starved in Africa. We understood, right? Because we saw dirt fucking roads and villages, so we got it. They fucking hungry. They starving in Africa, right? But then they fucking come to America, and guess what I'm going to report today? 80% of Somalians are on fucking welfare, and they stole money for food. So you telling me you in the richest country in the world and you're still fucking starving? It doesn't make sense. I got it when you were starving in Africa, right? It's Africa. Fucking flies on your eyeballs. You couldn't find food in fucking Africa. I got it. Well, why the fuck are you starving in Minneapolis? Why do you need welfare in Minneapolis? Why are you hungry in Minnesota? Why would anyone give welfare to Somalians once they got here, the richest country in the world where people throw away food? I mean, there's literally apps on the fucking cell phone where restaurants give away old fucking food. America has food banks. Nobody's fucking starving. I tried to give a homeless person a cheeseburger. He looked at me like I was a piece of shit. I don't want a fucking cheeseburger. I want dope. I want alcohol. Hey man, you hungry? Yeah, I'm hungry for cocaine. I don't want no fucking cheeseburger because I got food. I got food. Homeless people not hungry. He looked at me like I was crazy. He looked at me like I was crazy. He said, I got food. I can go get food any time of day. No homeless person goes without food in America. Why the fuck are Somalians asking for welfare food and food stamp meals and shit in America? Why did we bring them here? Why did we bring them here? If you're gonna fucking starve there and fucking starve, why did we fucking bring them here? Huh? Please tell me that. Why are you even here if you're gonna steal? It cannot be it cannot be the environment. If you starved in Africa and now you're starving in America, maybe it's fucking you. Maybe it's you, huh? If you were starving in Africa and now you're starving in America to the point where you need to ask for, do you know Omar? A lot of you don't understand how this happened. Do you know how they stole $1 billion for food? You see the bricks of cash they're sending from EBT over to Somalia in the mail. You know how this happened? Omar is the one. Omar, the Somalian congresswoman who is now under 2 separate investigations from the Trump administration. She is being investigated on whether or not her father is actually American. And she's also being investigated by Homeland Security on whether or not she married her brother to grant her own brother American status. Did you guys know that? It's not conjecture anymore. So Omar, who allegedly married her brother, that's being investigated. She is the one who created the policy for the Feed Your Future Foundation 5013C to get in the whole mechanism behind starving Somalians in America. You should be pissed off about the whole ideology of starving Somalians who happen to live in America. That should piss everyone off. That everyone should be pissed off about the concept that they want Americans to believe that Somalians were starving in America. Bullshit. Bullshit. So the idea that Omar will create a policy so that her Somalian community could access welfare for food, knowing what we've already given you. We've given you access, right? You were in Somalia starving. We give you access to the richest country in the world. That's not enough. We got to have a talk this morning. That's not enough, right? The Somalian community said that's not enough. We want to steal billions of dollars from your country. Huh? We're still hungry, right? Even though we were hungry in Africa, we want to steal billions of dollars from your country. That's what we want to do. We want to steal billions of dollars from your country. And we having a good time this morning. We having a good time this morning, huh? We having a good time this morning, huh? Why is this important? I wanted to talk about DC and Trump going around the nation because I have a story talking about how low the Democrats are polling, right? So yesterday I said people are not paying attention to the writing on the wall. MTG quits. Fannie Willis gets kicked off the RICO for sleeping with the married man. This is all leaving a bitter, poor taste in the mouth of Americans. Do you understand? Americans are tired, right? How low is Trump polling? No, not about Trump. Trump can't run for president again, right? Huh? I'm a address you, but you got to go, right? Because I know you trolling, right? Britain loves Trump. I know. It's not about Trump, dum-dum. Can anybody say it for me in the chat? It's not about Trump, dum-dum. It's not about Trump, dum-dum. Can I get a dum-dum in the chat? It's not about Trump, dum-dum. People need to forget about Trump. You know, Fannie Willis also used the tax dollars to pay for vacations with that man. Thank you. It's not about Trump, dum-dum, because Trump can't run again. Trump is a lame duck. Can I get lame duck in the chat? Can I get lame duck in the chat? Trump is a lame duck. Trump doesn't have to win again. You have to win again. Trump is not a lame duck. Trump is a lame duck, and he doesn't have to win again. He can't run again. The Democrats have to win again. Do you understand? Huh? The Democrats have to win, right? And this doesn't help the Democrats win, right? We're going to get to the poll numbers. The reason I brought this up this morning, the reason I laid this foundation, it's not even my lead story. I just want to lay a foundation why we so MAGA excited. Why are we so MAGA excited every day on this Thursday? Why are we so MAGA excited? Lame duck. Lame duck. See, this is what I'm saying. People don't know. They troll without the education. Trump doesn't have to run again, ladies and gentlemen. Trump doesn't have to run again, right? The Dems, you guys believe the Democrats will win in 2026. I am telling you, the Democrats have no chance. The congressional math, the House has 219 to 213. The Democrats got to pick up 10 seats. Who? Can you name me 10 Democrats who are going to win? And you have to name to me 10 to 20 Republicans who will lose to where the Democrats get the majority. It's going to be a sad day in November 2026 because the media is lying to you. But let me read this story to you right now. I just had to lay a foundation. That people have not read the room. People have not read, the Democrats have not read the room. When you look at MTG, when you look at Jasmine Crockett, when you look at AOC, when you look at Fannie Willis, when you look at Gavin Newsom, when you look at Nancy Pelosi quitting, when you look at Maxine Waters, almost 90 years old, Gavin Newsom cannot run for governor again. Do you know what that means in California with all those electoral votes? The Democrats are, I don't want to call anyone names. But I don't think the Democrats are truly prepared and poised for politics in 2025. And that's just very sad and true. Do you guys understand that when California elects a new governor, he will not be Democrat, because we have fatigue on Democrats in California. In California, like Florida, with DeSantis, Florida is red. Florida has some of the most electoral votes. Do you guys want to have a real political conversation about what it looks like in 2026 and 2028? Let's be honest. Gavin Newsom cannot run again in California. California has some of the most electoral votes. The next governor of California will be red. There will be a red shift in California. All those electoral votes going to the next Republican candidate. Florida, Ron DeSantis, all those electoral votes going to the next Republican candidate. Who knew that Gavin Newsom can't run again? Maxine Waters looks 235 years old. That's the comment of the day. Who knew that Gavin Newsom can't run again? Who knows about the fatigue? Remember, I talked to you about Stockton, about a mass murder in Stockton. Over 15 people shot and 4 children murdered. And the white liberal mayor, a white female mayor of Stockton, said, "Trump, will you please help me?" She didn't say, "Gavin Newsom, will you please help me?" California is leaning red, just like Texas just reassigned those 5 seats, is leaning red. So Gavin Newsom will not be governor in 2028. Who knew that? And the next governor, because of fatigue, will be Republican. So it is an uphill battle. Right? You guys can say, "Oh, we got New Jersey." New Jersey doesn't fucking matter. New Jersey's never been a fucking factor in any presidential race. So when Democrats say, "We won New Jersey," there's a Democrat, it doesn't fucking matter. It's insequential to the presidential race. But California flipping red, you can't win. The Democrats can't. If California flips red, the Democrats can't win the presidency. Do you understand? And Gavin Newsom has fucked up California so bad that Californians will not vote Republican for the next 20 years, right? We got to clean up California. We need a Maga candidate for California, a candidate that will change the laws that say you can steal up to $1,000. The Maga candidate that will say a felony is a felony, because Gavin Newsom changed a lot of felonies to misdemeanors. How many people remember when Gavin Newsom changed a lot of felonies to misdemeanors, right? When Gavin Newsom changed a lot of felonies to misdemeanors. So California is going to be itching for a Republican MAGA candidate to make California great again. Bring businesses back to San Francisco. Bring factories back. That we lost Tesla under Gavin Newsom. Do you guys remember that Tesla started in California? How many people know this? Tesla started and was owned and operated in California. One of the first dealerships was here in Sacramento. Elon Musk just lost Chevron. Elon Musk wanted to build a brand new Tesla plant in Northern California. My nieces and nephews would have had one of the most advanced factory jobs in the globe at one of the best companies. Elon Musk negotiated with Gavin Newsom to get the plant built, couldn't do it. He went to Texas, built the plant in less than 2 years. Blacks and minorities in Texas were already working before people in California realized that Tesla was gone. Tesla was gone. When Elon Musk was interviewed, he said California is the most litigious state. Does anybody know what that means? Huh? Didn't a major California hamburger brand leave California recently? California is the most litigious state, right? That means they have the most laws that will allow lawsuits against companies. He said, I could not build in California because it is the most litigious state in the union. And when I went to Texas, I did not have to fear lawsuits. They allowed me to build. They gave me tax-free incentives. And now we got people in Texas working for Tesla instead of the young people in Stockton. How many people think it would help Stockton if Tesla would have been built in the Central Valley? Don't you think that would help the gang problem in the Central Valley if we had a huge factory like Tesla paying high wages? Huh? I think that would have helped Stockton, right? I think that helps gang violence, right? Why do so many companies start in California? Because of Silicon Valley and because of venture capitalists. The venture capitalists in Silicon Valley is where the money is, right? So they go to Silicon Valley to get the money, the loans, the venture capital. Mark Zuckerberg got $100 million to start Facebook, right? That's why, because that's what there was a TV show on HBO called Silicon Valley. It's because of the venture capitalists that provide the funding for companies like Tesla and Facebook. What else you got out here? Rivian. Rivian is the new hybrid car everybody loves. California. I've been seeing Rivians for about 5-10 years. We've had Rivians out here for a long time. You guys are just now seeing the Rivian SUV in the truck. We've had that for a long time. What's the other one that people are, is it Lotus? What's the other, there's so many electric cars that you haven't seen yet because they start in California. They're all here, like the driverless cars, the Waymo cars, everything is here. Everything is here. Everything is here. But let's get into this. Thank you guys for watching. Bro, you on point like a sewing needle. Thank you so much. Double tap at the like button. Today, I'm talking about people, truly, the Democrats don't understand what's going to happen in 2026. Jasmine Crockett, that's a big deal, you guys. MTG. Do you know why MTG quitting is such a big deal? It's because she understands what the Democrats are scared of and they won't admit to you. MTG quit because MAGA base is so strong. Do you understand? What MTG realized, without the support of Trump and MAGA, she can't win, because that's how influential the Republican MAGA party is. And the Democrats don't have that, because if they did, Jasmine Crockett would still be running in the 33rd district, and AOC would not be attempted to primary Chuck Schumer from the left. The problem is the Democrats don't have support, right? So MTG understood that the Republicans are the people who actually are pulling the lever in the voting booth. And MTG knew, just like Jasmine Crockett knew, when Jasmine Crockett 33rd district got enveloped by a larger red district, she knew that she could not beat the Republican incumbent, so she had to run for Senate. Jasmine Crockett has no choice. Jasmine Crockett got fired by Greg Abbott when Greg Abbott merged her seat. Y'all don't know chess? This is 4D chess to get rid of that loudmouth sister girl out of the Congress. How do we get that loudmouth sister girl out of the Congress? Greg Abbott rearranged the seats in Texas, and no one understood that one of the seats was Jasmine Crockett. That was firing Jasmine Crockett. Now you might understand why she got on a jet plane and went to Illinois and cried to Pritzker, cried to Newsom, cried to the governor of New York. They tried to change the seats in the middle of the decade. And guess what? We went to the Supreme Court. See, the Democrats said, you can't do this. You can't do this to Jasmine Crockett, you can't change the seats. Boo-hoo-hoo. Boo-hoo-hoo. So they went to the Supreme Court. And guess what the Supreme Court said? Yes, Greg Abbott can change the seats and fire Jasmine Crockett. And fire Jasmine Crockett. That is exactly what happened. We went to the Supreme Court. They said, yes, Greg Abbott can redraw the map, firing Jasmine Crockett. That is what happened. Do you know Texas has not sent a Democrat to the Senate in over 30 years? Jasmine Crockett has been fired. Jasmine Crockett has been fired. And no one knows it because the Democrats lie about the current status of politics in America. How many people knew that the seats in question in Texas were Jasmine Crockett? How many people knew that Jasmine Crockett's seat was affected by the 5 seats in Texas? Nobody knew because CNN didn't tell us. I'm the only one telling Americans, hey, you know those 5 seats that we fought for? One of them was Jasmine Crockett's, and now Jasmine Crockett is fired. So the entire time, Greg Abbott and Donald Trump knew what they were doing. Greg Abbott and Donald Trump knew by doing this rearranging of these 5 seats, they were firing Jasmine Crockett. You're fired. Donald Trump, y'all remember The Apprentice, right? Y'all remember, what did Donald Trump say on TV for 11 years? This is what we saying to Jasmine Crockett today. You're fired. That's what happened. Donald Trump just fired Jasmine Crockett, and the Democrats can't do shit about it. And the Democrats can't. Let me tell you why the Democrats' hands are tied. Let me show you some realities that they're not showing you. Let me get to this. Record low polls. Holy smokes, it's over. CNN just dropped devastating news for Democrats. Democrats, in the minds of the American public, are lower than the Dead Sea. 55 points overall, 61 points with independents. This is not a lie. This is reality. This is not fiction. This is what we talking about this morning. The lies. The lies, the lies, the lies, the lies. And I got it for you. I got it. I got it. I got it. Trump is winning. Trump is winning. Trump is winning. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at the reality for the Democrats in 2026 and 2028. This is the Democrats' net approval rating. Look at that face. Look at that face. It is priceless. Whoa, that MAGA. Let's go, MAGA. Priceless. This is priceless.
Right now. Yeah, I mean, Democrats in the minds of the American public are lower than the Dead Sea. What are we talking about here? Well, let's take a look. The net approval rating for Democrats in Congress. You said it, Kate Baldwin. The lowest ever. Look at this. Overall, they are 55 points underwater. Their approval rating is south of 20%. It's even worse when you look at independents. Look at this. Negative 61 points. That means that their approval rating is 61 points lower than their disapproval rating. Quinnipiac has been polling this question for the better part of the 21st century. They have never found Democrats, at least those in Congress, in worse shape than they are right now.
Never found Democrats in worse shape than they are right now. This is a Democratic outlet. This is a Democratic news outlet. This is not a MAGA outlet. This is not MAGA saying this. This is the Democrat news saying this. I said this because this was in the Wall Street Journal. This was in Reuters 6 months ago, how low the Democrats were polling because of the shenanigans of Jasmine Crockett when she left the state and she stopped the vote. There was a flood in Texas. There was a flood in Texas, and when Jasmine Crockett left the state, she stopped the vote, and flood victims couldn't. She stopped democracy. Jasmine Crockett, this has been tumbling down since Barack Obama's presidency. Do you guys understand the Democrats' lack of ability to create a health care bill that was functional? How long ago was Obamacare created? To this day, Obamacare has not been finished and complete to where the American people could benefit from it. Even Joe Biden in his last administration had to add subsidies to pay for the Obamacare Act. The issue is that Joe Biden made the subsidies temporary. Why did he make them temporary? Let's take a look at the truth about what the Democrats is going to look like in 2026 and 2028.
That's right now. Yeah, I mean, Democrats in the minds of the American public are lower than the Dead Sea. What are we talking about here? Well, let's take a look. The net approval rating for Democrats in Congress, you said it, Kate Baldwin, the lowest ever. Look at this. Overall, they are 55 points underwater. Their approval rating is south of 20%. It's even worse when you look at independents. Look at this. Negative 61 points. That means that their approval rating is 61 points lower than their disapproval rating. Quinnipiac has been polling this question for the better part of the 21st century. They have never found Democrats, at least those in Congress, in worse shape than they are right now.
That's independents and overall, but what about Democrats on Democrats?
Yeah, what about Democrats on Democrats? So part of the reason overall is so low is independents are driving it low, but that's not the only reason it's so low. What about Democrats on Democrats? Democrats net approval rating of congressional Democrats. I want you to keep in mind, they had never rated Democrats negatively until this year. And right now, what are we talking about? We're talking about a net approval rating from Democrats. This is Democrats on Democrats. Their approval rating is actually lower than the disapproval rating, and that is quite the drop from.
Democrats on Democrats below. They've never rated this low. Never. I never change. This is Jay. Every day, all day. I never change. Never. Democrats have never been this low. Now you know why MTG quit. Now you know why Jasmine Crockett quit. Now you know why Fannie Willis crash out. The Democrats are spiraling. They are trying to flip the story and say there is a fracture and a splinter in Maga. There is no splinter in Maga, right? If Maga was splintered, then you would see Republicans siding with Marjorie Taylor Greene. Did you see that? Did you see anybody split from Trump to go with MTG? No. And MTG, I think she was surprised. I think she was surprised. I think Marjorie Taylor Greene thought there was division in the Republican Party. I think Marjorie Taylor Greene bought the BS from the Democratic propaganda. She thought she would split the vote. She thought she would take Republicans with her when she quit. What happened, you guys? Does anybody give a good googly moogly about Marjorie Taylor Greene? No. The day after she quit, she ceased to exist in the minds of Republican and MAGA. I don't hear her name coming up. MAGA doesn't care. MAGA says goodbye. And Marjorie Taylor Greene, I know she is shocked. I think she thought she would have some people go with her. No, I need you guys to really be honest about what I know the media is so strong. The propaganda is so strong. And I know you want to see the things that you're seeing in reality through those blue Democratic lenses. I know you want to look at MTG in one way. I know you do. I know you want to look at Jasmine Crockett in one way. I am here today to bust your bubble. By giving you this information, I am telling you honestly, the American people are seeing through the Democratic facade. I'm just being honest. Nancy Pelosi is quitting. Nancy Pelosi, but she's taking home $400 million. Nancy Pelosi is quitting, but she's taking home $400 million, right? Do you understand why is Nancy Pelosi quitting in 2026? If 2026 was going to be a Democratic year, this is a real question. This is a real question. If 2026 was going to be a Democratic year, why would all of these people leave the party? I'm giving you the answer. This is the answer right here. They've never polled this low. And this is just the reality.
That's independents and overall, but what about Democrats on Democrats?
Yeah, what about Democrats on Democrats? So part of the reason overall is so low is independents are driving it low, but that's not the only reason it's so low. What about Democrats on Democrats? Democrats net approval rating of congressional Democrats. I want you to keep in mind, they had never rated Democrats negatively until this year. And right now, what are we talking about? We're talking about a net approval rating from Democrats. This is Democrats on Democrats. Their approval rating is actually lower than the disapproval rating, and that is quite the drop from October. I think during the shutdown, there was a bit of a boost for Democrats, right? There was a rallying around the flag effect going on, but Democrats did not like how that shutdown turned out. They have returned against Democrats in Congress, and you mentioned Dan Goldman in that intro. One of the reasons that Dan Goldman is in trouble right now in a potential primary against Brad Ladner is because at this point, the Democratic base is so upset with Democrats. So even if Democrats take back Congress, don't be surprised if Dan Goldman ain't there because of numbers like this one.
This is
Democrats are so upset with Democrats. Come on, people. Democrats are so upset with Democrats. Let's go, everybody.
quite a shift that you're looking at here. I mean, so this gets to the midterms, of course. What does this do to Democrats' chances of taking back majorities in Congress?
Yeah, you know, we're talking about it. You mentioned it. What is this? 22-6. That's a 28-point decline falling through the floor. But of course, the question is, can Democrats still take back Congress, even with their ratings as low as this? The answer is yes, but in my mind, it's definitely hurting them. Why do I say that? Because take a look at the generic congressional ballot with a Republican president at this point. Look, Democrats are ahead, but they're only ahead by 4 points. Historically, that is quite weak. At this point in the 2017, 2018 cycle is more than double that at 10 points. The same back during George W. Bush's second term in office, where you saw, of course, the Democrats were also ahead by 10 points. So we're talking about a lead of less than half what we normally expect. And I think that's why at this point, there are a lot of Democrats who might be thinking, hey, we can spike that ball in the end zone. But the numbers at this point say, hold on just a minute. Yes, you're on your way to a congressional majority, but it's still a long time. With numbers like this, considerably weaker than historically speaking, it might be a tougher road to hoe.
It might be a tougher road. Do you see how he tries to do the double talk? You see how they still want to say that they have a chance. They don't have a chance, man. You could just see how the numbers right there. Last time when they won, they were plus 10. Right now, they're plus 4 and going down, right? And going down. So when I talk to you about all these realities that you're seeing, the numbers back it up, bro. Brothers and sisters, the numbers back it up. Now you may understand what's happening with Jasmine Crockett, why Nancy Pelosi is quitting right now. Does anybody know? And this is sad. This is sad. Who is going to run in place of Nancy Pelosi? Who's going to take Nancy Pelosi's seat? Do you guys understand? You should know. If someone, do you get it? You should know who's going to take the place of Nancy Pelosi. Anybody know? This is what I'm saying about the Democrats. The Democrats are in real trouble. The Democrats are in real trouble, and it's not me just saying that. Anyone under 85? Who's going to take Maxine Waters' place? Who's going to take Maxine Waters' place, right? If Jasmine Crockett, listen to this, Jasmine Crockett is leaving the Congress. That already affects the Democratic congressional math, right? Jasmine Crockett is no longer running for the 33rd district in South Dallas, right? So who is going to replace Jasmine Crockett, right? Because that district now is red. That Jasmine Crockett had a blue district, 766,000 constituents in South Dallas District 33. That district was now folded up in the Greg Abbott 5 seats, and it is now a predominantly red. It is no longer blue. It is red. Right there, you just lost 5 seats in Texas. So who replaces Jasmine Crockett? How do you replace those numbers? The congressional math is not there. The support from Democrats is not there. The support from the country. I just showed you a video. Well, Democrats don't believe in Democrats. I am a conservative Republican. I don't believe you have the numbers. I don't believe Democrats are really paying attention to the writing on the wall. This is my opinion as a conservative Republican, but I just played you video. Well, Democrats agree with me. Democrats did not like the way the government shut down ended. Do you guys know why Democrats are upset at Chuck Schumer and why Chuck Schumer may lose a primary to an AOC? Why are Democrats upset at Chuck Schumer and the way he handled the shutdown? How many people know that Democrats are upset because they wanted Chuck Schumer to keep the shutdown going? This is very important because we still don't have a budget, and under pressure, Chuck Schumer may shut down the government again January 30th when the continuing resolution expires. Democrats are upset. Do you really understand the shutdown? See, the shutdown was a Democratic design. When you understand why Democrats are upset about the shutdown, that is the only way I can explain to you, because the Democrat liberal brain is like mush. And they don't want to believe anything that's not on television. It was a Democratic shutdown. How do you prove it's a Democratic shutdown? What he just said, the Democratic approval rating of Democrats and them being upset that Chuck Schumer did not keep the government shut down until he got extensions on the Affordable Care Act subsidies. Then if you understand that, then you understand that it was a Democratic shutdown and they shut down the government and refused to vote yes on the clean CR until they got the special election. See, Chuck Schumer didn't care about the subsidies. Remember that played that video where I said Democrats don't care about the victims because they were working with Stacey Plaskett and Epstein? I said Chuck Schumer don't care about the subsidies. Chuck Schumer don't care about your EBT. Chuck Schumer and Senate Democrats cared about the special election that took place November 4th. And Chuck Schumer thought he had won over the party when he had those little victories in New Jersey and New York. Surprise, Chuck Schumer. Surprise, surprise, surprise. No, the Democrats were pissed. The Democrats are still pissed, and they don't care that you got small victories on November 4th with the special election. The Democrats are pissed at Chuck Schumer for opening up the government and approving. This is what AOC said specifically. AOC said Chuck Schumer could not hold the party line. Chuck Schumer could not hold the caucus. What does AOC mean when she says Chuck Schumer is weak, not a good leader, because he could not hold the caucus to the party line? What was the party line? The party line is do not vote yes on the clean CR until we get what we want. That means the Democrats shut down the government and wanted the government shut down, and they were not going to open the government per AOC and the squad until they got what they wanted. They were keeping you hostage. They were keeping your holidays out, but not just you, the military. This is what the sick part about the shutdown. Everybody hyper-focused on food stamps, but you know what we talked about here? Military families. Military families abroad in Germany who were starving. Military wives, military children. Necessity workers like TSA and air traffic controllers. That's what I focused on. And I thought it was perverted that Jasmine Crockett still got a paycheck. I thought it was perverted that Chuck Schumer, that AOC went to Puerto Rico, spent $50,000 on a Bad Bunny concert while American soldiers went hungry. I thought that was perverted. I thought that was perverted. Well, guess what? I wasn't the only one paying attention. It looks like from these numbers that America also paid attention, and then also Americans paid attention to the actual end of the shutdown. Does anybody know how the shutdown finally ended? Well, we put forth a clean CR after October 1st when the Democrats and Republicans could not come to an agreement on the budget, which is an appropriation bill. You know, Congress creates a budget in the form of an appropriation bill that goes to the Senate. The Senate then approves it. It gets signed into law. That's how you create a budget. But Congress could not do that. In lieu of Congress creating a budget for the American people, Mike Johnson put forth a clean CR. Anybody know what a clean CR? A stopgap bill. A stopgap bill would fund the American people, keep food stamps going, keep everything at Biden levels. The budget would stay as is before October 1st. Why we argue over the new budget? Because we have a new Republican president. We can't keep the old budget. Donald Trump is president now. But Mike Johnson said, let's do a clean CR. I'll give you the old budget while we hash it out. And then we sent that to the Senate. After we sent that to the Senate, never has the government been shut down. This is the longest government shutdown in American history, and never has the government been shut down when we have what is known as a clean CR, a clean resolution, funding the government at pre-levels of October 1st under Biden's budget. Do you guys know that? We've never had a shutdown with a clean CR. So the clean CR gets to the Senate. right? The clean CR gets to the Senate and Chuck Schumer says no to the clean CR and says the big beautiful bill is coming. Now, this is the issue with the shutdown. The big beautiful bill was signed into law January 4th, 2025. Democrats knew it was going to affect November 1st and December 1st. Right now, I gave to you last week 18 states have approved waivers that you can no longer buy soda with your EBT in 2026. The Democrats knew changes were coming. 20-hour work week requirements to WIC. And also the Affordable Care Act subsidies would expire December 31st. This was all in the big beautiful bill. Project 2025, Rachel Maddow, Joy Reid, they read you Project 2025 like a bedtime story. Remember they said don't vote for Trump, and they turned the page. Project 2025, Heritage Foundation. So don't tell me you didn't know that the big beautiful bill was coming, Jasmine Crockett, AOC. It was your job to stop the big beautiful bill or get changes made to it in committee. They did not. The big beautiful bill was signed into law in July 4th. 4th of July, right? Independence Day. So after October 1st, the government owes us a budget. Chuck Schumer says, I'm not going to sign the clean CR because I want you to make changes to the law. See, the big beautiful bill was no longer in committee. The big beautiful bill was no longer in appropriations. The big beautiful bill was now law. And now Senate Democrats are lying to the American people and saying, hey, we're going to shut down the government because Trump is trying to do this to you. No, Trump already did it. Trump already did it. It's a law. The big beautiful bill is law, and Biden already did it. Biden made the subsidies temporary. So Biden already did it. Trump already did it. Chuck Schumer was lying to the American people, trying to make changes to an existing law via a budget appropriation process and trying to shove changes into a law, into a clean CR, which has never been done. It's a procedural misconduct, and the American people totally missed it. The American people totally missed what Chuck Schumer actually did. You know what the sick, perverted part is? You know what the sick, perverted part is? That at the end of the day, what happened? What happened at the end of the day? At the end of the day, Chuck Schumer and Senate Democrats signed the same clean CR from October 15th. Do you know what that means to everybody that was hurt by the shutdown? From every soldier to every soldier wife. Do you know what that means? That means you did not have to go through that pain because the Democrats did not get anything that they wanted, did not make any changes. And at the end of 43 days, they signed the same clean resolution that was available to sign on October 15th. That is why the Democrats are angry with the Democrats at the way the shutdown ended. They are upset with the way the shutdown ended because they signed the same clean CR that they could have signed without getting anything. When AOC heard and Hakeem Jeffries heard that Chuck Schumer could not hold the line in the Senate and the Senate might approve the clean CR, they had a midnight session where Hakeem Jeffries and AOC and Jasmine Crockett pleaded for everybody to keep the government shut down. And she said she's going to primary Chuck Schumer because he could not keep the party line and keep the government shut down. Now, not only are Republicans seeing this, Democrats have seen this, and now I'm going to show you what is the reflection of the party.
Right now.
Yeah, I mean, Democrats in the minds of the American public are lower than the Dead Sea. What are we talking about here? Well, let's take a look. The net approval rating for Democrats in Congress, you said it, Kate Baldwin, the lowest ever. Look at this. Overall, they are 55 points underwater. Their approval rating is south of 20%. It's even worse when you look at independents. Look at this, negative 61 points. That means that their approval rating is 61 points lower than their disapproval rating. Quinnipiac has been polling this question for the better part of the 21st century. They have never found Democrats, at least those in Congress, in worse shape than they are right now.
That's independents and overall, but what about Democrats on Democrats?
Yeah, what about Democrats on Democrats? So part of the reason overall is so low is independents are driving it low, but that's not the only reason it's so low. What about Democrats on Democrats? Democrats' net approval rating of congressional Democrats. I want you to keep in mind, they had never rated Democrats negatively until this year. And right now, what are we talking about? We're talking about a net approval rating from Democrats. This is Democrats on Democrats. Their approval rating is actually lower than the disapproval rating, and that is quite the drop from October. I think during the shutdown, there was a bit of a boost for Democrats, right? There was a rallying around the flag effect going on, but Democrats did not like how that shutdown turned out. They have returned against Democrats in Congress, and you mentioned Dan Goldman in that intro. One of the reasons that Dan Goldman is in trouble right now in a potential primary against Brad Ladner is because at this point, the Democratic base is so upset with Democrats. So even if Democrats take back Congress, don't be surprised if Dan Goldman ain't there.
Did you hear what he said? Did you hear what he said? The Democratic base is so upset with Democrats. The Democrats are disappointed with the way the shutdown ended. This is not an old poll. You just gonna get blocked. All you're gonna do is get blocked. If you want to stay and have fun, just stay and have fun and be respectful. You're just gonna get blocked. I'm not saying, do you know what the worst part about the people? This is why we're doing this morning, because the Democrats are delusional about what's going to happen in 2026. What you need to recognize also about what I'm giving you this morning is this is a liberal outlet. These are Democrats. This is Democrat media right here. This is not, let's take a look at it here. Dude, wake up. Dude, wake up. Dude, wake up. Trump is a legend. That's what I want to see. Best president ever. I'm not making this up. This is the facts on the ground, ladies and gentlemen. Facts on the ground.
Right now.
Yeah, I mean, Democrats in the minds of the American public are lower than the Dead Sea. What are we talking about here? Well, let's take a look. The net approval rating for Democrats in Congress.
Let's talk about it right now. Let's break it down. Negative 55 points overall. This is the net approval of Democrats in Congress. That's what we've been talking about all morning. Why is this important? Because people are thinking something else is a reality, right? Keep drinking the Kool-Aid. I am going to drink the whole damn bottle, baby. I'm going to drink the whole damn bottle, baby. Huh? $2.38 for gas. This is the reality right here. Negative 55 points. But this is not the whole story. This is not why we're here. This is not the whole story. I want you to focus on not how I feel about the Democrats. I need you to know how you feel about you. This is me putting a mirror in your face. Mirror on the wall. Who is the baddest of them all? Maga, Maga, Maga. Take a listen. Take a listen.
You said it, Kate Baldwin. The lowest ever. Look at this. Overall, they are 55 points underwater. Their approval rating is south of 20%. It's even worse when you look at independents. Look at this.
He's laughing. He's laughing at you. This is CNN, fair use. He's laughing at you. Your approval ratings are so low, it's fucking laughable. He's laughing at you. Ha ha. Ha ha.
Negative 61 points. That means that their approval rating is 61 points lower than their disapproval rating. Quinnipiac has been polling this question for the better part of the 21st century. They have never found Democrats, at least those in Congress, in worse shape than they are right now.
They have never found. Did you guys hear that? This is why we're starting. This is the lead-off story. They have never found Democrats at this low since they've been polling. Never. These are the facts on the ground, ladies and gentlemen. These are the numbers. This is not conjecture. This is not opinion. We are the numbers. Now, next, I am going to show you the coffin nail. This is not the coffin nail. The coffin nail is the Democratic approval on Democrats. Democrat on Democrat. How do Democrats feel Democrats are performing right now? This is the coffin nail. This is where you're going to have a problem.
That's independents and overall, but what about Democrats on Democrats?
Yeah, what about Democrats on Democrats? So part of the reason overall is so low is independents are driving it low, but that's not the only reason it's so low. What about Democrats on Democrats? Democrats net approval rating of congressional Democrats. I want you to keep in mind, they had never rated Democrats negatively until this year. And right now, what are we talking about? We're talking about a net approval rating from Democrats. This is Democrats on Democrats. Their approval rating is actually lower than the disapproval rating, and that is quite the drop from October.
He can't believe it. He can't believe it, y'all. He can't believe it. It's lower.
I think during the shutdown, there was a bit of a boost for Democrats, right? There was a rallying around the flag effect going on. But Democrats did not like how that shutdown turned out. They have returned against Democrats in Congress. And you mentioned Dan Goldman in that intro. One of the reasons that Dan Goldman is in trouble right now in a potential primary against Brad Ladner is because at this point, the Democratic base is so upset with Democrats. So even if Democrats take back Congress, don't be surprised if Dan Goldman ain't there because of numbers like this one.
And this is quite a shift that you're looking at here. I mean, so this gets to the midterms, of course. What does this do to Democrats' chances of taking back majorities in Congress?
Yeah, you know, we're talking about it. You mentioned it. What is this? 22-6. That's a 28-point decline falling through the floor. But of course,
decline falling through the floor.
The question is, can Democrats still take back Congress, even with their ratings as low as this? The answer is yes, but in my mind, it's definitely hurting them. Why do I say that? Because take a look at the generic congressional ballot with a Republican president at this point. Look, Democrats are ahead, but they're only ahead by 4 points. Historically, that is quite weak. At this point in the 2017, 2018 cycle is more than double that at 10 points. The same back during George W. Bush's second term in office, where you saw, of course, the Democrats were also ahead by 10 points. So we're talking about a lead of less than half what we normally expect. And I think that's why at this point, there are a lot of Democrats who might be thinking, hey, we can spike that ball in the end zone. But the numbers at this point say, hold on just a minute. Yes, you're on your way to a congressional majority, but it's still a long time. With numbers like this, considerably weaker than historically speaking, it might be a tougher road to hoe.
That is the facts on the ground. These are the facts on the ground. For those of you new to the channel, just coming in, asking when and all this shit, this is the basis of why Marjorie Taylor Greene quit, why Nancy Pelosi quit, why Jasmine Crockett got fired. My argument this morning, you can put your argument in the chat, double tap at the like button. My argument this morning is if 2026 was going to be a watershed year for the Democrats, then why is everybody leaving, right? 2026 looks horrible for the Democrats. I am the first one to present this evidence. They are lying to you on the liberal media. The Democrats don't even approve of the Democrats. Did you hear what he said? The Democrats have a negative approval of themselves. I can't make this up. The Democrats have a negative approval of themselves. 2026 is gone. 2028 is gone. You can't even tell me who your nominee is going to be for 2028. There's rumors that Kamala No Vote Harris may run again. Does that mean that she's going to run with Tim Walz of the Somalian fraud gang? Tim Walz, who was asleep at the wheel. Did you see the video I played the other day where Tim Walz was asked about the $1 billion theft by the Somalian fraud ring, and Tim Walz deflected to white men? I'm like, Tim Walz, you are a white man. Tim Walz said, well, if the Somalians did fraud, there's a lot of white men who do fraud. We played the video over and over. There's a lot of white men who do fraud. Tim Walz, what is wrong with you? So if Kamala Harris runs again, does that mean a lot of white men need to go to jail too? Walz is going to be her VP choice again? Do you guys understand dead weight? I can't make this up. Who's going to Tampon Tim? Now Tampon Tim has been saddlebagged with a $1 billion fraud scheme, a multi-billion-dollar fraud scheme that he knew was occurring. He had to know because it's billions and billions and billions of dollars. But on top of that, when asked about it, he blamed white men. He said, if you're going to arrest Somalians, arrest white men, and we need to focus more on arresting white men. I couldn't believe it. When I could not, that if you want to know why the Democrats are polling so low, if you want to know why the Democrats are lower than the Dead Sea, then you just got to look at Tim Walz blame white men for Somalians who we gave access to the richest country in the world. They were starving in Africa, eyeballs full of fucking flies, right? They wanted help. They wanted access. We give them access to the richest country in the world. They come to America, and you want to tell me you're still fucking starving? You still fucking hungry in America, where we got food banks, we got restaurants who give away their own food, we got people who give away food. There's food on every fucking street corner in America. Americans are obese. All we do, you can get food anywhere. But Somalians came to Minneapolis and said, I'm still hungry. How disrespect. Somalians who were starving, we understand you were starving in Africa. It was a fucking village, fucking flies in your eyeballs, right? No running fucking water, fucking dirt roads. You were starving in Africa. You're not in Africa anymore. You're in fucking Minneapolis. Why did you need welfare in the billions of dollars? You're in America. You can make it happen, right? You can make it whatever the fuck you want. No more dirt roads. No more fucking flies in your fucking eyeball. Why come to America and say to Americans, I'm hungry. I'm still fucking hungry. Yeah, I got it. That's why we brought you here. I love you. That's why I brought you here, brother. I love you. I saw you was hungry. I saw the flies in your fucking eyeball. So I said, come to America, the land of milk and honey. In America, motherfuckers throw away food. So come to America. You'll never be hungry again. You'll never be hungry again. Come to America. You might not be rich, but I promise you, if you get to America, my African brother, Obama, your mama, Wakanda. My African brother, I promise you, if you get to America, you never will be hungry again. These motherfuckers came to America with flies in their eyeballs and said, once they got to the richest country in the world where people give away food all day long. I volunteer at food bank. You know, in California, got some of the most elaborate food bank. Hey, no paragraphs in my chat. Hey, check this out. I'm going to put y'all both on timeout. No paragraphs in my chat, right? If you got something like that to say, go ahead and put it in the super chat. No paragraphs in my chat. If you got something like that you want to say, go ahead and put it in the super chat. Don't put no paragraphs in my chat. I'm putting your ass on timeout. Pay attention to the moderator. Follow the rules. You starving in Africa, flies in your eyeballs, dirt roads, but then you come to America still hungry, right? And then Il Omar, the congresswoman. Now, why are all the Somalians that are Congress and politicians women? Do you know they're Muslim and they don't even believe in that shit? And y'all are not paying attention to the Somalian hustle, right? All of the politicians are black women, but the Somalians are Muslim, right? So why didn't the Muslim men run for office in America? Why don't we have a Muslim man, a Somalian man? Even if we know that Muslim men are patriarchy, why are the women in politics? Maybe that has something to do with how they stole the $1 billion. There is a black female Somalian mayor in the Twin Cities. There's a black female Somalian congresswoman in the Twin Cities. And there's a black female Somalian senator in the Twin fucking cities. How many people knew that? How many people knew that? How many people knew that? Tim Walz. Imagine that. Tim Walz. Picture that. Tim Walz. How many people knew that there was a black female Somalian mayor in the Twin Cities, a black female Somalian congresswoman in the Twin Cities, and a black female Somalian senator in the Twin Cities at the same fucking time they stole $1 billion? That's not relevant. Why is my skin color relevant? Why is not the coincidences more relevant than my fucking skin color? I'm not Somalian. Why you care about if I'm black? Why don't you do the fucking math on damn? You trying to tell me there was a Somalian mayor, a Somalian Congress, and a Somalian senator, and nobody knew about the fucking $1 billion? No one could stop the theft that went on for 2 years from Somalians. You would think with so much Somalian political representation that at least someone would be held accountable if they did not fucking know what happened. But no, everybody wants to say, you're black, you're black, you're black. Fuck that. There was a Somalian mayor, a Somalian Congress, and a Somalian senator. That's a trifecta. That's a trifecta. That's a trifecta. So when you say, how did they steal $1 billion? How did they steal $1 billion? How did they steal $1 billion? Man, and then I tell you first they stole $1 billion, and then you say, man, that's not believable. How did they steal $1 billion? I said they had a 5013C, Feeding Our Future. They had a 5013C. Omar created the legislation for the 5013C, and it was about food and autism. Did you guys know that? And the way they stole the money is they faked ghost children. They said, if they said they had 10 kids, they told the government they had 1,000 kids. And they told the government, I need 1,000 meals. They had ghost children. They lied about how many kids they were actually feeding. They stole food out of children's mouths in the amount of $1 billion, while at the same time having political representation in the mayor's house, in the fucking Congress, and in the Senate. Did you guys know that? I don't think you know the whole story. I don't think you know the whole story. And Tim Walz, former VP candidate, was the governor during this theft. And Tim Walz was more hyper-focused on tampons in the boys' bathroom. Just to give you further fodder of how and why this theft took place. Well, the person who should have been watching over and making sure the theft did not occur focused more on tampons in little boys' bathrooms. Maybe that's why they were stealing like it was no tomorrow. Give me this, give me that, steal, because the damn Democrats are worried about where the fuck a little boy gonna piss instead of doing your job protecting the taxpayers' money. Your job was to protect the taxpayers' money, Tim Walz, Omar. Instead, you were focused on tampons and transgender rights. And America told you we don't want boys on the same team as girls. America told you we don't want boys in the bathroom with girls. America told you we don't want tampons in the boys' bathroom. But the Democrats didn't listen. Bud Light didn't listen. Target didn't listen. What happened to Target? On my Maga, what happened to Target? Huh? What happened to Target? What happened to Bud Light? When Bud Light put a transgender on the Bud Light can, what happened to Bud Light? What happened to Bud Light? They lost $100 million and had to change the campaign. What happened with Target? What happened with Target? When Target went woke, they went broke. Huh? No. They're not doing fine. Huh? They're not doing fine. What happened with Cracker Barrel? Huh? What happened with Cracker Barrel? I think Cracker Barrel had to put the cracker back next to the barrel. What happened with Cracker Barrel? Cracker Barrel had to put the cracker back next to the barrel. What happened with Bud Light? Bud Light had to put two good old boys looking like King of the Hill on two folding chairs and flip-flops and long socks, two good old white boys. Huh? Post Malone and one of my favorite comedians, Shane Gillis. They went from that guy, the person before. How did Bud Light get the market share back? They had to go to a good old boy. Two good old white boys in a folding chair with some flip-flops, just watching the football game, enjoying the beer. Huh? And then guess what happened? Bud Light started selling again. Bud Light became the beer of America all over because it listened to the consumer. I said the MAGA dollar is strong. What happened with Target? Target fired his CEO. Huh? The Target fired the CEO. Target lost hundreds of millions of dollars for those swimsuits. Who knows about the Target swimsuits? And they lost all that revenue. Huh? Remember the Target swimsuits? Remember going into Target and being confused? Target lost money They fired that CEO and changed their campaign and took those clothes out of Target. Those clothes and those mannequins are no longer in Target nationwide. Nationwide. Those I got some big ears. Those clothes are no longer in Target nationwide. So Target, Bud Light, and Cracker Barrel. So where is the Democratic example? Because we're talking about the Democrats in 2026. Where's the Democratic example of this? Target, Bud Light, and Cracker Barrel. Can you show me? Because there was a recently they tried to boycott Target. Remember, Democrats and black women kept seeing other black women in Target. Hey, girl, you ain't supposed to be in here. Oh, hey, girl, you ain't supposed to be in here. It didn't work. But when MAGA boycotted Target, it worked. When MAGA boycotted Bud Light, it worked. When MAGA boycotted Cracker Barrel, it worked. I'm just being honest. So where is the Democratic example of this strong Democratic base? Where is this example of the strong Democratic base? I see you. I see you soft side with your pretty black face. What happened to the Target? What happened, pretty black girl? What happened to the Target band that black women had and black women kept shopping at Target? What happened? What happened? Where is the strong Democratic example that you can compare and juxtapose to what MAGA has accomplished in the marketplace? In the marketplace, the hundreds of millions of dollars, CEOs being fired, campaigns being shut down, multi-million-dollar campaigns being shut down by MAGA dollars. Can you show me a Democratic example of a major billion-dollar corporation that shut down its campaign and turned a 180? Show me a Democratic example of this. You can't do it. You can't do it. Let's get into today's lead story. Double tap, hit the like button, man, because Trump did a speech last night. Trump did a speech last night, man, and the internet is going crazy, man. Trump did a speech last night, and the internet is going crazy. I'm so happy y'all chose me. I'm so happy y'all chose me to hang out with me. It's the #1 podcast. This is the most epic based podcast in the world right now. Come on now. Hey, what you got to say? MAGA, let's dance. Put on your red shoes and make the Democrats dance the blues. Let's dance. Put on your red shoes and watch the Democrats cry the blues. Let's dance. Woo! Come on, y'all. What's up, patriots? What's up, degenerates, deplorables? It's your boy here with the most hottest podcast, December 18th. President Trump just dropped 4 nuclear bombs. Bombs over Baghdad. Bombs over Baghdad. President Trump just dropped 4 nukes on them Dems in one day. Inflation dipped 2.7%. How much you paying for gas? How much you paying for eggs? I said we added 64,000 in jobs in November, despite the Democratic shutdown. How much right now in the chat, put your state and put how much you paying for gas. Bombs over Baghdad. Trump dropped 4 nukes on them Dems in one day. Inflation dipped to 2.7%. Fire primetime speech 1776, 1,776 smackaroos, 1,776 bucks, $1,776 bonus to our military troops. Clap it up in the chat for the troops. Warrior Dividend, clap it up for the troops, man. Clap it up for Navy SEAL Team 6 and all the work the Navy has been doing in the South Con region, protecting us from the drug boats, the Venezuelan tankers. And don't forget, the Navy and the Armed Forces did not get their pay for 43 days. So thank you, Trump. Shout out to Trump for a $1,700 bonus for our troops. The Kennedy Center renamed to Trump Kennedy. Let's dance. Put on your red shoes and watch the Democrats cry the blows. Let's dance. Woo! Trump renamed the Kennedy Center. I love my president, man. Who else would even think to do that, right? Trump renamed the Kennedy City. We dancing, baby. Let's go. Grab your red hats. Turn it up. This is the Maga victory episode you've been waiting for. Deep dive, folks. The fake news tried to spin it, but CPI just hit 2.7 annual. Core at 2.6, the lowest since the Biden mess started. Trump called it, his policies are killing inflation. Remember when Dems said Trump's tariffs would spike prices? Wrong! Prices dropping while Biden ghost haunts the grocery aisle. Liberals are flooding, lib tears are flooding harder than ever. Let me get a clip from Trump's speech where we talk about what's going on, man. Where y'all go first? To the bonuses, man. Trump announces $1,776 holiday bonus for military in White House address. In 19-minute speech on Wednesday evening, Trump highlighted his administration's first-year economic wins and introduced a Warrior Dividend. Y'all hear it? Oh, I didn't even know this part. Listen to this, everybody. I'm so proud of the Trump. He's going to do a Warrior Dividend, and it's going to be tax-free. I did my research. I knew how much it was. I knew it was the Warrior Dividend. This is the first I'm finding out that it's going to be tax-free. Trump just keeps winning, man. Trump just knows how to do stuff better than anyone else. So the Warrior Dividend that you may have heard about going out to our troops, the number one armed forces in the globe, is going to be $1,700, and it's going to be tax-free. Check for about 1.4 million active duty troops funded by tariff revenues. Did you know it was funded by tariff? So not only is it tax-free, not only is we giving $1,776 to our troops, but it's going to be funded by tariff revenue for all the people who hated on tariffs. Funded by tariff revenues and symbolizing America's founding year, 1776. Secretary Pete Hegseth, on this channel, we call him Pete Heggie, baby. Let me give Pete Heggie, baby, in the chat, because we support Pete Hegseth and we support the Department of War. Pete Heggie, baby. Pete Hegseth followed with the video tying bonus to pay raises and House support. So Pete Hegseth is working on getting our armed forces higher pay rates, and now they're getting a bonus after being unpaid for 43 days. Please keep in mind that our armed forces went unpaid for 43 days during the government shutdown. Jasmine Crockett still got paid. Jasmine Crockett still had a weave down to her ass and mink eyelashes the entire time the government was shut down. You didn't have food stamps. You didn't get paid. Jasmine Crockett had a weave down to her ass and mink eyelashes the entire 43 days. Ha ha. While Trump touted sharp drops in grocery prices and drug seizures, fact checkers disputed several claims like inflation being stopped at an 18 trillion investment figure. Supporters hailed the address as disciplined proof of progress. Critics called the bonus modest and some claims exaggerated. Critics call the bonus modest and some claims exaggerated.
In the crucible.
Let's go to Pete Heggie, baby, with an address to our military, and shout out to Pete Heggie, baby, and the 1776 going to the military. Pete Heggie, baby, and the Department of War.
1776. As you know, our great nation was founded in the crucible of revolution in that year. Now, as we enter the Christmas season some 250 years later, we are proud to provide 1776 with a whole new modern meaning for our joint force. As he announced to the nation last night, thanks to President Trump's unwavering commitment to our warriors and the provisions provided in the One Big Beautiful Bill, more than 1.45 million service members will, in the coming days, receive a one-time tax-free bonus of $1,776. This has never happened before, every member of our military E1 to 06. We're calling it the Warrior Dividend, a direct investment in the brave men and women who carry on the legacy of our armed forces every single day. This Warrior Dividend serves as yet another example of how the War Department is working to improve the quality of life for our military personnel and their families. I can think of no better Americans to receive this check right before Christmas. Whether it's for pay, housing, face support, all elements of what we're doing are to rebuild our military. So to the American warrior, President Trump and I and the entire War Department, we have your back. We thank you for your service, and we thank you for your sacrifice. We love you and your families, and we wish you a very Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Pete. Department of War. I love it. Department of War. Pete Haggy, baby. I love it, man. Department of War. He didn't have to do that at the mouth. He didn't have to put Department of War at the ear. I love that, man. I love that, man. Pete Haggerself, man. Department of War, baby. Let's go. Overnight, President Trump, 1,769 checks for 1.4 million troops announced Wednesday night come from a congressional allocated recollection fund intended. Thank you. I don't want to hear that BS, man. Let's keep going to some more video. I love Pete Haggerself, Pete Haggard, baby. We're gonna play that again. Let's go to let's go to your favorite. You know, this man got $100 million from Jeff Bezos. You know, Jeff Bezos gave him $100 million.
This could be the greatest speech for Democrats to win the midterms ever if he does any of those things.
Well, they need something because you got an 18% approval rating right now. So whatever you can get, I would advise you to try to get it. Listen, he spent a lot of last year on foreign affairs to great success, but now we're moving into an election year. And the first line, I inherited a mess and I am fixing it, reminding people that we were in a deep hole. And that's why he got elected in the first place. He is going to have to ask for some forbearance from the American people. But you can tell he does have a story to tell here. Some of it is in the big, beautiful bill. That is the centerpiece of his domestic policy agenda. The tax cuts are good. And he does have villains here. The health insurance companies are a good villain. The Democrats being at an 18% approval rating, that's a good villain. And so when you're going into an election, I think it's got two jobs. One, sell what you're doing. But two, you got to post up against the alternative. The American people just rejected the alternative a year ago. And now he needs them to reject the alternative again. So
that's it.
This could be
an 18% approval rating. You know what I'm saying? The Democrats need something with an 18% approval rating. Donald Trump, Pete Haggerself, we getting it done out here. Brand new address last night. Donald Trump addressed the nation. And
is ever done.
In the address, he announced a couple of things. We are reacting this morning to Donald Trump address the Warrior Dividend, $1,700 to the armed forces, the big, beautiful bill changes that coming in and going into effect December 1st and November 1st with the work requirements for WIC, for cash aid, for Section 8. I even brought to you 18 Republican states who have agreed to waivers where you can no longer buy soda. I read to you all 18 states. Arkansas, some states have said in 2026, you cannot buy any food with sales tax and no more hot food. You know how they got EBT signs at Pizza Hut? They got a Pizza Hut sign. It says, you can use your EBT card at Pizza Hut and McDonald's. Well, there are 18 red states that have accepted waivers from Robert F. Kennedy, Dr. Oz, and Maga, Make America Healthy Again, where they have approved that food stamp EBT cards will no longer buy soda in 2026 in 18 states, and they may expand it to include more food. So right now, 18 states in 2026 have banned soda. They have banned juices with less juice than 50% juice. 7 states have banned food stamp use of food with sales tax, and 7 states have banned food stamp use of hot food. So if you ever use your food stamp card at Pizza Hut, at McDonald's, at Popeye, Popeye's chicken and you live in a red state, you should call your representative and find out whether or not you can still use your EBT card in 2026. These changes have already gone into effect. The big beautiful bill was signed into law in January, and sadly it will roll out incrementally. Some things went into effect November 1st, some things went into effect December 1st, December 31st. Affordable Care Act subsidies will expire. And as it rolls out in April and July throughout certain red states, you will see food stamp restrictions. And I think what was the one state has some of the largest restrictions that I've ever seen. And other states plan to expand their restrictions beyond soda and sugary drinks. But some states are going into 2026 with not just sodas and sugary drinks being banned, but also food that has sales tax, or other words, hot food, or otherwise hot food. You hear what I'm saying? So did I play Trump yet? I don't think I played Trump. Let's play Trump.
Those increases
let's play Trump. Let's play Trump. I don't know if I played Trump. Did I play Trump? Let's play Trump. We are reacting to the Trump. Man, I'm gonna quit hitting this doobie when we go to the video. I can't remember what video I played.
And you see that now in the steep increase in premiums being demanded by the Democrats, and they are demanding those increases, and it's their fault. It is not the Republicans' fault. It's the Democrats' fault. And you see that now in the steep increase in premiums being demanded by the Democrats, and they are demanding those increases, and it's their fault. It is not the Republicans' fault. It's the Democrats' fault.
Everybody in the chat, it's their fault. It's not the Republicans' fault. It's the Democrats' fault. I love Trump. Trump is the greatest. I love Trump. Trump is the greatest. What did Grit say? Just to what? What else we got? What else we got on the address? What else we got? Did I play this one?
I'm doing what no politician.
Did I play this one? We're gonna play it again, and we're gonna play Pete Hegseth. We reacted to Trump. We reacted to Trump national address last night. Y'all let me know in the chat.
In addition, what no politician of either party has ever done, standing up to the special interest to dramatically reduce the price of prescription drugs. I negotiated directly with the drug companies and foreign nations, which were taking advantage of our country for many decades, to slash prices on drugs and pharmaceuticals by as much as 400, 500, and even 600%. In other words, your drug costs will be plummeting downward. And I used the threat of tariffs to get foreign countries who would never have done it to pay the cost of this giant dollar reduction. They stopped ripping us off, and it began as of 4 days ago. There has never been anything like this in the history of our country. Drugs have only gone up, but now they'll be going down by numbers never conceived possible. It's called Most Favored Nation. And no president has ever had the courage or ability to get this done until now. The first of these unprecedented price reductions will be available starting in January through a new website, trumprx.gov. And these big price cuts will greatly reduce the cost of health care. In addition,
Y'all need to write this down. I don't know if you have a grandmother. I don't know if you have a mom. I want to say thank you to Roha Bakamu for the $19.99. Thank you for the super chat. Everybody in the chat, hit the thumbs up. Double tap at the like button, like, share, and subscribe. Hey, I don't know if you have a grandmother. That's right, protect our president. I don't know if you have a grandmother, but some things, you can't troll everything. I want everybody to write this down. Write this down. We're going to play it again. I want you to take notes and write this down. Trump is lowering the cost of prescription goods, and he just gave out the name to a brand new website that you will be able to use and your grandmother will be able to use. This is not about laughs anymore, everybody. I know we having fun in the chat. I see you guys going crazy in the chat, and I'm glad you guys having a good time, right? But I need you to listen to this because this is important for people, right? The Affordable Care Act subsidies are going to expire. I don't know if the Medicaid is going up. Premiums are going up. I'm not happy to say this. I'm not excited to say this, right? I'm not excited to say there's no profanity in the chat. No profanity in the chat. I'm not excited to say this, right? But the Medicare, the Medicaid is going up. The Affordable Care Act subsidies are going to expire in days, right? December 25th is around the corner. Christmas is going to be coming. After Christmas, just a couple days, those subsidies are going to expire. The Republicans actually submitted a brand new health care bill. Did you know that? Did you know the Republicans actually passed a brand new health care bill? I don't know if I got something on that. I got U.S. inflation? Do I got something? I'm gonna bring that up for y'all. America, we just passed a health care bill. Did y'all know that? The Republicans passed the health care bill. I'm going to bring it up for us. Because the Affordable Care Act subsidies are going to expire. I know a lot of people like, okay, so what is Trump playing? What is Trump going to do? To be honest, a lot of Republicans was wondering what is Trump going to do. But just the other day I read Republican health care plan passed. Republican health care plan. Republican health care bill. Let's check it out. Did you guys know that the Republicans had a bill? Because a lot of people were saying, breaking news. Double tap at the like button. We're going to go back to Trump. I want everybody to be able to write down that website. But listen to this. Breaking news. The U.S. House just passed the Republican health care plan. It's only 22 hours ago. That's less people buy insurance in groups to save money on premiums without Democrat ACA subsidies extensions for big rich insurance. The vote was 216 to 111. One Republican no. Thomas Massey bitch ass. It's always him. Johnson cancels ACA subsidy vote before Christmas break. So they're not even, in case you guys don't understand what's happening with the Affordable Care Act subsidies, listen to what I'm going to read to you right now. Mike Johnson is the head of the House. The House has a Republican majority, and Mike Johnson is the leader of that. Hakeem Jeffries is the minority leader. In case you want to know how the House in politics works, Hakeem Jeffries is the minority leader in the House. Mike Johnson is the majority leader in the House, and the Republicans have the majority. Now take a listen as we talk about Affordable Care Act subsidies expiring December 31st in just days. Johnson cancels ACA subsidies vote before Christmas break. The Congress people are always on break. I ain't gonna hold you. If you mad at the Congress people for being on break and Mike Johnson taking a break, I ain't gonna hold you on that. The Congress people, for the amount of money they get paid, be on a lot of damn breaks. But they are gonna go on the Christmas break, and they get paid a lot of money. They going on the Christmas break. Why is this important? That they will not even be voting. Mike Johnson said, I don't even want to vote on it before Christmas. That means after Christmas, they got like 4 days to come up with a resolution to the Affordable Care Act subsidies that will expire in days. I don't even know when they come back from Christmas break. They may not come back from Christmas break before the subsidies expire. Listen to this. Johnson adjourned the House for Christmas recess. They've already gone on break. God, dog. The House is already on break. You can't make this up. They already on break. They're not even working no more. Johnson just adjourned the House for Christmas recess, halting a bipartisan discharge petition with 218 signatures to extend Obamacare premium tax credits for 3 years. All House Democrats joined 4 Republicans from swing districts in the push, despite GOP leadership in opposition. Without action, 4.8 million could lose coverage next year, which is just days. Don't say next year, say 10 days. With premiums jumping over $700 on average, Republicans favor reforms over renewal, leaving the issue unresolved as enrollment deadlines approach. You can't make this up. The House is on recess. The House is on recess. The House is on recess. You can't make this up. The House is on recess. The Affordable Care Act, and just in case your grandmother or somebody was praying or wondering if they would fix it before Christmas, they not.
Send home the Republican Congress for the holidays and let these tax credits expire? Or does he do the right thing now that House Democrats and 4 of his own members have signed a discharge petition compelling a vote that would otherwise not ripen until early January. I and my colleagues here will continue to make the case that the Speaker ought to do the latter. He ought to call that vote today. Let the chips fall where they may, and let us work together to ultimately secure health care for millions of Americans. Speaker Johnson has a very simple choice to make. Does he send home the Republican Congress for the holidays and let these tax credits expire? Or does he do the right thing now that House Democrats and 4 of his own members have signed a discharge petition compelling a vote that would otherwise not ripen until early January?
What did I just give you? I just gave you this is why you're here. Everybody watching, that's why you're here. You're here to learn. This is the best geopolitical, domestic political podcast. He just asked the question. I just gave you the answer. Mike Johnson sent the Congress home. The question was, will Mike Johnson hold a vote before he sends home the Congress for their Christmas break? What did I just read to you? There will be no vote. Mike Johnson sent the Congress home. What does that mean? Why is this important? It means the Affordable Care Act subsidies will expire, right? Now, I got all type of shit. This is the perfect time of podcast studios, man. Check it out, man. What are you talking about? What you want to look at? What you want to look at? You want to see something? I got more shit over here. What are you talking about? This is the perfect time of podcast studios, bro. I'm proud of my studio. Check it out. I got some shit over there worth thousands of dollars. What is you talking about, man? I got some shit over there. I got some shit over there in the wrapper that I ain't never even opened. I said don't put no paragraphs in my chat. I said don't put no paragraphs in my chat. If you got a paragraph, put it in the super chat. Don't put no paragraphs in my chat. If you got a paragraph, put it in the super chat. I'm going to put you on timeout. I'm going to put you on timeout. I'm not going to block you, but if you do it again, I'm going to block you. Don't put no paragraphs in my chat or else I'm going to block you. If you want to say something, put it in the super chat. I don't want no paragraphs. You're not the host. You're not running the show. You can make a quick comment. If you want to make a long-winded comment, I will address you. I will stop the show if you put it in the super chat, right? And I want to say thank you to the last super chat for Roho Beauchambeau. Is that Rochambeau? I don't know, but thank you for that $19.99. Thank you for that $19.99. So he was asking Mike Johnson to have a vote. I am telling you this because there will be no vote. There will be no vote. There will be no vote.
House care here.
There will be no vote, right? There will be no vote. We want to make clear that Mike Johnson, that the American people deserve a vote on the Affordable Care Act tax credit legislation, deserve that vote today. The Democrats, I don't know what the Democrats were screaming about Mike Johnson giving them a vote. Everybody just needs to know right now from this show, they're not getting a vote. Oh man, you cannot hide. Come on, man. Listen, Hakeem Jeffries begging to get, man. Hakeem Jeff, this is who you got for 2026. This is who you got for 2028. Come on, man. Be honest, man.
The Republican healthcare crisis is unacceptable, unconscionable, and un-American. And our message to Mike Johnson is clear. You can run, but you cannot hide. The American people are horrified. Republican leaders are petrified, but House Democrats are unified, standing up on behalf of the American people to protect their health care. And so we're demanding a vote today on extending the Affordable Care Act tax credits. Today, not tomorrow, not next week, not next month, today. The Republican health care crisis.
No. And Mike Johnson said no, ladies and gentlemen. Mike Johnson said no.
Injustice. They have made the morally corrupt choice to take health care away from people who work hard for a living to fund tax cuts for the very wealthiest. They were so eager to pass these permanent tax cuts for the billionaire class, they called us back from recess in July, all at the expense of the health and financial security of working families. That is how they have chosen to lead. that Republicans.
I gotta pause it. I'm gonna bring it back. I'm gonna bring it back. I just love the fact when they make a mistake and be honest. Don't you love when people make a mistake and be honest? I love when people make a mistake. She said these changes were made back in July. Thank you. Stop lying to the American people like there's some late midnight surprise on December 31st. There is no surprise, Gomer Pyle. Surprise. She just admitted you knew what was in the big beautiful bill. You knew it when it got signed into law July 4th. Thank you. I love when they try so hard to criticize and you just threw yourself under the bus. We're going to listen to it again. Back in July, why didn't you warn the American people in July? Why didn't you fight the big, beautiful bill when it was in committee? Jasmine Crockett, AOC. See, it was an appropriations. Jasmine Crockett and AOC was on the committee. They had an opportunity to argue changes to the big, beautiful bill. You know what I said from the beginning? You know what the Young Turks said from the beginning? Democrat elite millionaire liberals did not debate the big, beautiful bill because millionaires like Nancy Pelosi, millionaires like Gavin Newsom, millionaires like Ilhan Omar, millionaires like Jasmine Crockett's father, millionaires like Maxine Waters will benefit from the tax breaks being permanent. Do you guys remember when Trump beat Hillary Clinton in the debate? How did Trump beat? He said Hillary Clinton's got gotcha moment. You didn't pay your taxes. Bitch, you didn't pay your taxes either. And you can change the tax code, but you won't. You won't change the law or the tax code because you benefit from it too. Why didn't Democrats argue the big, beautiful bill in July? Why lie to you and shut down the government in November when she just admitted they knew this was coming in July? Why did they do that to you? Why did they put you through that amount of pain? And they claim they love you. They could have argued the big, beautiful bill, but Nancy Pelosi's worth $400 million. She's quitting. Did you know Trump is going to investigate Nancy Pelosi? Who saw that? Who saw Trump is going to investigate Nancy Pelosi? Who saw that? Trump said we need to investigate Nancy Pelosi because she is the best. She has the best stock return, even better than the S&P 500. You know, MAGA, these used to be MAGA dreams. You know, the little MAGA, let me go into little dreamland. As a little MAGA boy, I would get my MAGA blanket. It was red. I would get my red MAGA blanket and I would get my red MAGA binky. And I would suck on my red MAGA binky and I would get my red MAGA blanket, right? Hold on. As a little boy, I would get my MAGA blanket and suck on my red MAGA blanket, and I would dream. You know, I would dream and dream and dream. You all want to dream with me? I would dream that Trump would close the border. I was having a MAGA dream. I would dream that Trump would get rid of the cartel criminals selling. I was having a MAGA dream. I would dream that Trump would fire Jasmine Crockett. It was a MAGA dream. I would dream that Trump would make Nancy Pelosi quit. It was a MAGA dream. Who has a MAGA dream? I had a MAGA dream. I had a MAGA dream, and my MAGA dream came true. My MAGA dream came true. And I just want to share with you, Nancy Pelosi, I'm the one who educated everybody on how much money Nancy Pelosi was worth. I believe Trump is watching my show. I got to be honest. I think Trump is watching my show because I think somebody watching my show because after I start educating my audience on how much money Nancy Pelosi was worth, Nancy Pelosi quits. And then Nancy Pelosi is being investigated by Trump. Today, we are talking about the Democrats and Mike Johnson just sent home Mike Johnson just sent home Congress, so there will not be a vote on the Affordable Care Act subsidies, and they are going to expire. This was part of the big, beautiful bill, Project 2025, and I just want to let you hear that the Democrats are lying to you because they knew this was coming in July. Can somebody say July?
Trump and his loyalists in the House have chosen injustice. They have made the morally corrupt choice to take health care away from people who work hard for a living to fund tax cuts for the very wealthiest. They were so eager to pass these permanent tax cuts for the billionaire class, they called us back from recess in July, all at the expense of the health and financial security of working families. That is how they have chosen to lead. The Republicans chose to shut down government. They chose to leave town rather than negotiate with us on a solution. They chose to ignore skyrocketing premiums. They chose to build a ballroom for their cronies rather than build a strong middle class.
Corella. Somebody say Corella. I love you for that. This is hey, but you know what? She beautiful though. I like the hair. I always thought Corella was hot, but that is Corella DeVille, man.
But thanks to the unity of this caucus, the leadership of Hakeem Jeffries, and the resolve of the American people, Democrats have secured a vote on extending the ACA tax credits. The only question that remains is when. And I humbly suggest it should be today. So Speaker Johnson, don't send us home without a vote. Put this bill on the floor.
They go home. They already went home. It's not just Corella DeVille. It's not just the hair. It's the coat. You remember she used to have a Dalmatian coat. So she just don't got the black and white hair. She got the coat too. You know what I'm saying? That was what we loved about Corella DeVille. She had the coat too. You know what I'm saying? So that's what makes it so realistic. I love when you said that, man. But the fact of the matter is, Speaker Johnson canceled the vote, man. Speaker Johnson canceled the vote. Speaker Johnson cancels Friday's vote, sending the House home early for Christmas. No more votes for the rest of the year. The Do Nothing Congress wraps up the year by literally doing nothing. Congress is already going home. Everybody at home thinking that something's going to change. Congress has already gone home. Ladies and gentlemen, Congress is gone. They have went home. Go Home Alone. What's your favorite Home Alone, man? What's your favorite Home Alone, man? Home Alone 6. You know what I'm saying? Home Alone 1. This is the Republican health plan. They think we're, you know what I'm saying? Trump's health care plan only works if you got a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? Let's listen to this. This is one of my guys right here, man. Scott Jennings on America's healthcare crisis. We live in a Democrat healthcare regime, right? It's called Obamacare. It's not a Republican healthcare plan. It was a Democrat president who put this on the American people. It wasn't finished. It wasn't a good plan. Even at the beginning, Barack Obama said we got to fine tune it. Just 12 months ago, Joe Biden and his administration had to add subsidies. Damn it, don't you think Obama got elected in 2008 and we fucking still fixing Obamacare fucking 10, 15 years later? If Obamacare was a good bill and was a good fucking law, then why did Joe Biden and Democrats still making band-aids to it and fucking 10 years later? I can't make this up. Why did Joe Biden have to add subsidies to Barack Obama's healthcare bill after fucking 10 years? Because it was a shitballs bill and it became a horrible law and they knew it. The president has raised, and I think most people would agree, that while we are giving billions upon billions of dollars to health insurance companies when nobody feels like their insurance is getting any better or their health, their benefits are getting any better, you've got millions of people whose insurance is so bad they never even try to use it. It has failed. Obamacare has failed. fail miserably. So much so that you had to add subsidies just 12 months ago. He has simply raised the point, why don't we give people money directly so they can go to the doctor and feel like they can get treated without dealing with some freaking insurance company that doesn't really allow them to use their benefits anyway. That's the president's plan. Let's take a look. That's the president's plan.
Look, a couple things. Number one, just to answer.
Look at our boy Scott Jennings. That's my boy Fair Use. Look at my boy Scott Jennings, man. Double tap at the like button, man. Double tap at the like button, man. Everybody like, share, and subscribe, man. Hit the super chat, man. We got a goal of 15 super chats. We got 10 more and 5 members. I need 5 of the people who subscribe today. They hit the plus sign and become members. Membership has its privileges. This is my boy Scott Jennings speaking to healthcare issues under a Democratic healthcare regime. Democratic healthcare regime.
Look, a couple things. Number one, just to answer your question earlier, we live under a Democrat healthcare regime called Obamacare. It's not a Republican healthcare plan. It was a Democrat president who put this on the American people, and we're now living with that. Plus, we're living with the cliff and the sunset they put in and the subsidies that we had to put in, I guess, to pay for the disaster that was Obamacare. All done by Democrats, not done by Republicans. To answer your question, there's a very simple answer.
Did y'all hear that? I got to play that a couple times. Living with the cliff and the subsidies that they put in. I say this every day. We are living with the cliff and the subsidies. Number one, Barack Obama made a horrible bill, became a horrible law. Then they created these cliff and subsidies, all of them created by Democratic design over and over again, temporary triggers and all these things while they were still in power for the past 15 years. Why didn't they ever finalize or fix? Number one, listen to this. Why didn't they fix and finalize Obamacare? You had since 2008 to all the way to 2024. How many years is that, y'all? They did not fix Obamacare over 15 years. They put in cliffs, they didn't put in subsidies and all these changes, and the bill still doesn't pay for itself. It still doesn't work. These are realities. Listen, everybody, I need you to listen closely.
And we're now living with that. Plus, we're living with the cliff and the sunset they put in and the subsidies that we had to put in, I guess, to pay for the disaster that was Obamacare. All done by Democrats, not done by Republicans. To answer your question, there's a very simple answer to this question. The president has raised, and I think most people would agree, that why are we giving billions upon billions upon billions of dollars to health insurance companies when nobody feels like their insurance is getting any better, their benefits aren't getting any better? You've got millions of people whose insurance is so bad they never even try to use it. It has failed. He has simply raised the point. Why don't we just give people money directly so they can go to the doctor and feel like they can get treated without dealing with some friggin' insurance company that doesn't really allow them to use their benefits anyway? That's the president's plan. Now,
that's actually not the president's.
It is. It's literally what he has said out loud.
It's not entirely the president's plan. Here are the other details.
What do you guys think? Do you like the president's plan? Put a 1 in the chat. Do you agree with Trump? Put a 1 in the chat. Do you agree with Trump healthcare, Trump care, or Obamacare? 1 for Trump care, 2 for Obamacare. 1 for Trump care, 2 for Obamacare.
Do a healthcare plan. 1 year. They did nothing. Oh, nothing.
The Republican Congress. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. The Republican healthcare plan, Lindsey Graham and his buddies are talking about it. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on. What do Fox got? House vote on GOP healthcare pass
today as Congress.
That's what I wanted to show you guys. This is what we doing. Hey, everybody, look at them ones in the chat. Shout out to everybody put them ones in the chat. Maga, Maga, Maga. Let's go, Maga. Woo, woo, woo. Let's go, Maga. Look at all them ones in the chat, baby. Let's go. Let's go, baby.
A test vote on a Republican health care bill just passed. That means a final vote later today as Congress is heading out for the holidays and Obamacare subsidies expire at the end of the month. Chief Congressional Correspondent Chad Pergram has more on what is next. Chad.
Julie, good morning. Well, Congress is not going to fix exploding health care premiums this year. Republicans blocked 4 plans by moderate Republican members who wanted to temporarily extend some Obamacare aid, and those moderate Republicans are fuming. So this is what's happened in just the past hour or so here. You have 4 Republicans who have now signed on to what's called a discharge petition. This is an effort to go over the head of the Speaker and put your piece of legislation on the floor. This is a discharge petition from Hakeem Jeffries, the Democratic leader, to renew the Obamacare subsidies for 3 years. And here are the 4 Republicans who signed on to this. They got to the magic number 218, and that means that they will be able to try to force a vote on this sometime, probably after the first of the year. Congress is going to be out later this week, and then this will have to wait until sometime in the new year. Here are the 4 Republicans. Brian Fitzpatrick of Pennsylvania, Mike Lawler of New York, Rob Bresnahan, a freshman from Pennsylvania, and also Ryan McKenzie of Pennsylvania. Usually these discharge petitions are used by the minority, but what you have here is most minority members, most Democrats, and a few Republicans in the majority now teaming together to try to address this. Some Republicans are very concerned that they might be blamed politically in the midterms for not fixing health care this year.
We learning a lot today. We learning a lot today, baby. Man, what a hell of a podcast. We learning a lot today. I don't know how much of this information you have, man. How much of this information did you have, man? Now let's get to the inflation, man. Remember I told you U.S. inflation dropped 2.7%, and we have, amidst the Donald Trump tariffs, we are doing our best. We are leaving a Joe Biden Democrat economy. No one liked the Joe Biden economy. How much did you pay for gas last year this time? Put it in the chat right now. Tell me how much you paying for gas. Tell me your state, how much you paying for gas right now. 64,000 jobs added last month despite a 43-day shutdown, the longest government shutdown in American history. Did you guys know that? The longest government shutdown in American history, 43 days, despite a government shutdown and including Donald Trump tariffs. Do you understand? Everybody said tariffs would make inflation boom. I am going to read to you a report where that inflation has dropped 2.7%, and we added, who was that? Wisconsin, 2.7 unleaded. Right now, how much did you pay last year? Did everybody still there? Y'all can hear my phone call? Can you hear my phone call? 219 in Texas, upstate New York, 282 from 394. Or over $4 a gallon. All that is money directly in your pocket thanks to Donald Trump's economy, right? 219 in Texas, that's money directly. That's like a rebate. That's like a rebate directly to your pocket, right? That's like a rebate directly to your pocket. And you know why that's happening? Because of the Trump economy. Let me read this to you. That was my wife. I apologize for that interruption. That was my wife. She just called and got karate, got a couple things. She's reminding me about karate. And a couple things, you know, it's Christmas, so she's shopping, and a lot of things have to happen today. So let me read this to you. 234 in North Carolina, and that's down probably $1. You know what I'm saying? That is money directly into your pocket thanks to the Trump economy. I believe it's only going to get better when you talk about the blockade of Venezuelan oil. Did you guys watch me yesterday? You got to subscribe and watch every day. Yesterday, we talked about the oil tankers. We talked about the oil tankers and the blockade and the aircraft carrier that is in the Caribbean outside of Venezuela, right? A lot of people thought Trump would announce a war last night on his address. A lot of people, Tucker Carlson, Nick Fuentes, a lot of people thought Trump was going to say that he was going to escalate things with Venezuela. I didn't think that it would be necessary. We already have a war on drugs. They've already been designated as narco terrorists. I didn't think he needed to announce a war. He has all the proper sanctions that he needs to carry out his mission in South America. So, but let me read this to you real quick. U.S. inflation drops 2.7% in November, beating forecasts. This is including the tariffs, y'all. This is including the tariffs. This is including a 43-day shutdown. This is what Maga is so excited about. This is including the 43-day shutdown and Trump tariffs that went into effect August 1st. Listen, U.S. inflation drops 2.7% in November, beating forecasts. And we added 64,000 jobs. Listen, the consumer price index fell 2.7% for the year through November, down from higher expectations of 3.1%, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Core inflation, excluding food and energy, dropped to 2.6%, the lowest since 2021. A government shutdown disrupted data collection, so figures blend September and November with carry forward October estimates, prompted economists to advise caution on housing costs. Overall reliability. Markets responded positively, lifting stocks and pushing Bitcoin above 89,000 amid hopes of Federal Reserve rate cuts. This is the facts on the ground. Let's go to CNBC gasp at new inflation numbers.
Last 12 months,
CNBC gasp at new inflation numbers, right? Because they did not expect this or predict this with the Trump tariffs and Trump economy, but yet this is the reality.
the number of the morning, the CPI, maybe coming in a little bit better than expected. 2.7%, a little light here. I'm just reading the headlines here. Year over year, 2.7, ex food and energy core, 2.6. So 0.4 off. That is a very good number here. And it really, I have not looked at the internals. I'll look at them now, but it suggests that the internals are good as well. Let's see, year over year, over the last 12 months. There is no month to month, but some guys will be able to calculate. Seasonally adjusted index for all items less food and energy rose 0.2% over the 2 months. So correct my math here, Michael Santoli, but 0.2 divided by 2 is 0.1.
Yeah.
So therefore, that's a very, very low monthly rate here. The index for shelter increase, so you did get a really nice decline in shelter, which was 0.2. And so that was 0.1 per month. The number of the morning, the CPI.
Y'all heard it right there. You see the surprise? You see the shock and awe at how good the numbers are? See, you won't see this on the liberal Democratic media, right? You won't see the truth and reality of what you're really living in. That's why I say put your state and put how much your what is this Tammy is a pole dancer stuff? Let me get you up out of here, man. Y'all won't see. That's why I say put your state, right? The numbers are terrible. That's why I say put your state and how much you're paying for gas, right? Put your state and how much you're paying for gas so we can have the reality being put out there, right? I want the reality put out there, right? And now you see here how surprised he is at Trump's numbers. But I say they're only going to get better. I say they're only going to get better, right? Here goes someone else.
I was expecting.
Despite, and people are saying Trump tariff. Here goes more reporting. This is from liberals.
I mean, I was surprised. It was a better number than anyone was expecting. Look, inflation's been very high. It's stayed high. It has not been coming down. But, people were expecting it to be above 3%. It was well below 3%. I mean, I think the president will take this as good news. The investors will think that interest rates will get cut more. So, it was a positive news. There's no other way to spin it.
Absolutely.
I mean, I was surprised.
It's positive news. There's no other way to spend it, right? They estimated that inflation would be 7% with Trump tariffs. How many people follow this stuff? 269 in Maryland. I follow this stuff. They estimated with Trump tariffs, inflation could get to 7 or 8%. Instead, inflation went down. You got to give it to Trump. This is a liberal Democratic outlet, Fair Use. This is a liberal Democratic outlet, and they said these numbers are good, baby. We are good, baby.
It was a better number than anyone was expecting. Look, inflation's been very high. It's stayed high. It has not been coming down. But, people were expecting it to be above 3%. It was well below 3%. I mean, I think the president will take this as good news.
People were expecting it to be above 3%, and it is well below 3%. Be honest, they were expecting it to be 7%, and instead of going up, it went down. The national average is $3. So I don't believe you're paying $4 in Nevada, so you got to go. The national average, I pay the most in gas. I'm in California. So anybody who lies about how much they pay in gas is getting blocked. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that lies about how much they pay in gas, why was Biden gas $5 in the winter where you couldn't buy Christmas presents? So I'm paying the most for gas in the entire country. California has a unique blend. California has the only blend in California, right? California has a unique blend of gas. We have the highest gas prices in the state. So if anybody lies about gas prices, I'm going to just kick you out, right? Okay? Anybody lies about gas prices, I'm going to just kick you out because California has the highest gas, right? And if you don't know that, we pay $1.90 and $2.95 in Indiana. And how much did you pay last year? You're about to pay more with Valero leaving. Expound on that, brother. Expound on that, brother. Tell me how I'm gonna pay more with Valero leaving. I'm interested about that. Expound on that, brother. Valero is leaving California. Wow. Just like Tesla left California, probably because of the lawsuits. That's crazy. I believe you, man. That's crazy. Valero's leaving California. $5 last year, $2.45 in North Carolina. I'm paying $2.79. Well, I got to look at that story. Valero leaving California. So is Chevron. Somebody said that earlier. Somebody said, is it true Chevron is leaving Cali? So you're saying Valero and Chevron is leaving Cali. If people buy food, who cares about gas? What the hell are you talking about with that horrible thumbnail? You will pay $8. Man, let me look this up. Y'all talking about, let me look this up, man. Let me look this up, man. Valero Refinery is paying $1 billion to leave California next year. Man, y'all, you know what? That's funny you bring that up. You know what I was looking at the other day? Because I'm in the Bay Area. We were looking at the Tosco, and it was hard to bring it up on Google. Every time I kept saying Tosco and the refinery in Richmond, where those guys passed away, rest in peace, in the accident, it kept bringing up Costco. And it finally brought it up for me. And I was telling my wife that I was working in Richmond, California. It was sad. It was very sad. So let me look this up, man. Is Chevron and Valero leaving California? And I got the best chat. Chevron is relocating its corporate headquarters from San Ramon, California. I actually worked there. I know exactly where they are. It's gorgeous. Black Hawk, some of the most beautiful golf courses. Michael Jordan has a home in Black Hawk, and because he plays golf at this golf course, that's one of the most beautiful golf courses in the world. And then E40 has a home there too. A lot of the 49ers. So I live and I know exactly what this is. San Ramon. They're moving to Houston, Texas. The move was announced August 2024. Wow. And is being phased in over 5 years. CEO Mike Wirth and other top executives relocated by the end of 2024 with full corporate functions migrating gradually. That's going to hurt. That's going to hurt that area. That area was a super affluent area of California. Wow. Wow. I didn't know that, you guys. Chevron is not fully leaving California, right? It maintains significant operations there, including 2 refineries in El Segundo and Richmond. That's where the Tosco refinery is, right? That accident. So that's going to stay. El Segundo and Richmond, crude oil fields, technical facilities, and over 1,800 gas stations. Positions supporting these California operations will remain in the state. The company cited challenges like California. Listen to this. This is what Elon Musk said about why he didn't stay in California. The company cited California's regulatory environment, high operating costs, and difficulty attracting and retaining employees as a reason for the headquarters move. That's the same thing Elon Musk said. You ready, baby? I'm ready. Valero is planning to cease refining operations at its Benicia refinery. I know people who work there. Benicia right by Vallejo. I went to school in Fairfield. I lived in Vallejo. I think I even might have lived in Benicia. By the end of April 2026, the company notified the California's Energy Commission and recorded 1.1 billion pre-tax impairment charge shared with the other California assets to exist. Y'all said it in the chat. 1.1 billion for Valero to leave. Wow, impacts. It reduced refinery capacity combined with Phillips 66 closure. Did you guys know that? So Phillips 66 closure in California could lose 17 to 20% of its state gasoline production by mid-2026. The state already has unique fuel specs, CARB, limiting easy replacements from other U.S. refineries. That means our gas prices is going to go up. Higher gas prices. Experts, UC Davis economists project increasing of 40% to $1.20 per gallon or more in 2026. Damn! Potentially pushing averages to $7 to $8 in spikes. Y'all read this already because somebody in the chat put $8. Y'all read this already. California already has the highest U.S. gas prices at $4.65 a gallon versus the national average of $3 as of late, partly due to taxes, regulation, and isolated supply. Holy shit balls. Holy shit balls. I live in California. They didn't say 2027. You know, 2026 is only 10 days away. So when you guys said $8, I didn't believe you. I thought you were trolling. When you said $8 a gallon, why would I believe you? It just said in 2026, California gas could be $8 a gallon. God, dog. There are estimates that fuel will get to $7 to $10. All right, you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you though for, I love the information. We're gonna talk more about it. Hey, subscribe, like, share, and subscribe. Perfect Timing Podcast. Salute. God bless America. God bless Donald Trump, and God bless Charlie Kirk and his family, and the memory of Charlie Kirk, and God bless Charlie Kirk's kids and his wife. Y'all have a great day.